Hey guys, welcome to Unbiased Rugby. My name's Donovan. So we're at the last weekend of the Autumn Internationals. I actually think this might be the last weekend of International Rugby for this year. It's been a great Autumn International. I think the games have been very, very close. Some of the games have been highly entertaining. There's been actually very few upsets. The better teams won on the day. So we're going into the last weekend. There's two real main games that we're working on, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the scores, and it's mainly for the Tier 1 nations, and we'll go through that. So here we go. First game of the weekend, we've got Italy versus New Zealand, and I've put New Zealand to win by 22. Normally I would have put it a bit higher than that, but I hear that Sam Whitelock's already flown home. A lot of the players will be flying home. I'm sure they're going to start playing. Actually, I do think they are playing a lot of other players. Wasaki Nohola will be playing. I don't think Ben Smith will play. Geordie Barrett is playing. I think they've got a completely different centre pairing with Anton Leonard-Brown and Lamapi. I think TJ Perenara starting with Te Tururangi on the bench. Then the pack, I think Dane Coles is starting. No Brodie Retallick, no Sam Whitelock. I think Kieran Reid is still playing and Beauden Barrett's still playing to give some kind of continuity. But I'm looking at it's a completely different team. Normally, I would say after a loss, I'd say New Zealand would want to come out and completely destroy. But I think with a lot of their top players coming home, I still think, even though they have incredible depth, I still think it's still going to be fairly close at 22, 22, and that's close. Next game of the weekend, we've got Scotland versus Argentina. I've gone for Scotland to win by 11. I think Scotland's. I've really, I've always been giving Argentina the benefit of the doubt for the last couple of weeks, but I don't know. They just haven't had one victory on this away tour, which is quite frustrating because they had so much promise in the Rugby Championship, and now it just seems like they're falling down to the wayside. So, I think it's a bit of an issue. So I put Scotland to win by 11. The Scots are very difficult to win at Murrayfield, so I'm going to do that. Next game, we've got England versus Australia. And same here. Normally I would go for the Wallabies to win the game, but I don't know. I just think there's been rumours that it might be that the players don't really want Cheika as the coach. I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's a quick way to get rid of your coaches to lose all your games. I know Argentina did that with their previous coach. So I put England to win by 9. And normally I'd say it's one at the breakdown, even though I know the Wallabies have great breakdown experts with Pocock and Hooper. But I still think England are going to be just too strong at Twickenham. Actually, there is one more game next week. Sorry, it's obviously Argentina playing the Barbarians. But that's not really an international. So next game of the weekend, we've got Wales versus South Africa. I haven't seen the team sheets. I know Wales it's their best autumn internationals, I think, ever. They've won 3 games in a row. I think they're on a 7 or 8 game winning streak. South Africa, I don't know. I still have put them to win by 8. I just think in the grand scheme of things, I think South Africa's better. But I might be biased. I think that's going to be a cracker of a game. I think those 2 games, England, Australia, Wales, South Africa, are going to be the 2 top games of the weekend. For the Wales, South Africa, I still think it's going to come down to the breakdown. For South Africa, I'm hoping that they get some of the players get to start. Hope Bongi gets to start at hooker, and we get to Malcolm Marx can come on later. I hear Trevor Nyankani's fixed. It'd be nice to see him get a run on. So there's some players that it would be nice to see them starting to playing. I know Ambrose Papier is going to be having another game at 9, which I think is perfect because we need decent backup with Faf, and we not only do we need decent backup at Faf, but we need decent backup that has actually got game time. Next game of the weekend, we've got Ireland versus the USA. Same with the New Zealand Italy game. I think Ireland are going to play a completely not a second string side. That's derogatory to the players, but essentially a B side. But I've still put Ireland to win by 16 points. I just think, regardless, they're just going to be trying to improve their depth. The last game of the weekend would be France versus Fiji, and they're fairly close in the rankings. I think it's 10 and 8, with Fiji being 10. I could be wrong. I don't have the things in front of me. I'm just going on memory. But I think France at home are going to be way too strong, so I put France to win by 13 points. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting weekend of rugby. I think New Zealand and Ireland can't really get any points to go further up the log. But I was doing the maths because I play with a calculator to figure out the world rankings. And if Ireland keep their same form going into the Six Nations, they will take the number 1 spot in the Six Nations. Because New Zealand don't get to play anyone until the Rugby Championship, the Northern Hemisphere teams do a lot of moving without us actually playing. So Ireland, I've got a feeling if they win their 4 or 5 games in the Six Nations, they'll take the top spot and knock New Zealand from the top. It'll only be the 4th team in history to be at the top spot. It's only New Zealand normally always there. I think South Africa's had it for about a year at various times, and I think England also had it for a while. So it's only those 3 countries that have ever had the top spot, and I think Ireland's going to be the 4th country to win it. It's actually quite amazing when you go through all the world rankings. So the world rankings, only 3 teams at the moment have ever been at the top, and only 4 countries have ever won a Rugby World Cup. So yeah, it's if Ireland take the top spot next year, they've got every good intention to try and win the Rugby World Cup, and they'll be the 5th nation to win the Rugby World Cup. But listen, guys, please put your scores down below of what you think it's going to be. The games of the weekend that you're really looking for. My 2 are England versus Australia and Wales versus South Africa. I think those are going to be the 2 main games of the weekend. But yeah, I'm going to sit there with Gordon and watch the Wales South Africa game. I've been invited to speak on Driving Maul post match with Driving Maul for the Wales South Africa game. So tune into Driving Maul's channel. I'll put down a link down below for the post match of that game. But listen, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Chat soon. Cheers. Bye.